All right, Big Bang, today is Wednesday. It is March 26th. Welcome to the Dog Walk, presented by Barstool Sports. Before we get going, I want to talk about game time. The best part of college basketball is here, and we know you're as excited as we are to watch some big upsets throughout the tournament. While we're streaming in the cave, you can get out to see the action in person with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find the great deals on the seats you want. You can even find last-minute tickets to the tournament for up to 60% off quickly and easily. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. I was looking at tickets for that regional that's in Indianapolis this weekend.
What'd you find?
Lucas Oil. I saw you can get Purdue tickets for as low as $260.
Oh,
it's not bad.
not bad at all.
Yeah, so go check that out. They've got great curated deals for all tiers of tickets, and you know you're getting the top option when you see the super deal icon. What are you waiting for? Go buy those Purdue tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. All right, welcome in, Free Swim. We are here. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
Good. I have a long overdue follow-up, actually.
Oh.
A couple weeks ago, Nicky Smoke subbed in for Chief, and he gave you a couple Drake songs to listen to really sway you into becoming a Drake fan. Did you listen to those songs? Did you come across any other Drake songs that you liked better than the ones Nicky recommended? He was very R&B heavy with it.
He was.
You're a Hotline Bling guy?
And I think it's one of those things where he gave me the wrong fish to start with.
Yeah.
He gave me Tuscan Leather. He said it was his goat. So I actually listened to that on the way into the challenge when we did the McDonald's fries and whatever the fuck challenge, and it didn't grab me like I hoped it would. I want to be a Drake guy.
Why?
Not a Drake guy, but I want to be like.
That's like political statement now.
Yeah. It's not that I want to be a Drake guy because I love that Kendrick song. Like I told him, I want to be like a guy who knows a little bit what's going on in that.
Give up, dude.
Type of music.
Give up.
But it's not bad. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't.
You don't have the exposure.
Exactly.
So you know how they do like the Spotify and Apple Unwrapped at the end of the year? Everybody posts it. I couldn't post mine this year. So
Was that embarrassing?
It had Zach Bryan, who especially at that time, we're out on him as a company.
Yeah.
And then in my top 5, 50 Cent. So it's still like what I liked 50. 50 is like my all-time favorite. Get Rich or Die Trying. That's when that was rap peaked in 2004, 3, whenever that album came out. I'm out. That's it.
But I think when you get older, it's all about like committing to actually wanting to like new music. Because back in the day, you were just naturally listening to music so much more on road trips. And like after your 5 listens, you're like, oh, I do like this song. These days, you're just not giving a song 5 listens. Also, back to Nicky Smokes, I think I get it. He kind of tried too hard. Picking like hidden gem Drake songs and not really going the popular picks. I've been anti-cliche shaming for a while. You know, like if someone like, what's your favorite Eminem song? If someone says Lose Yourself, they get shamed. But in reality, that is like one of his best songs, even though it's really overplayed.
It is.
Good point.
Like chalk is chalk for a reason a lot of times.
Yeah.
That song won a Grammy before Leo.
I feel like we've had a comment like this before, but it's weird to me that oldies stations and channels haven't moved. Like in the 90s, oldies were 60s and 70s. That's still the same type of music, but in the 90s, it's only a 20-year gap. It's been 20 years since Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all those they're not considered oldies. They're like, they just exist on their own.
I think there is some type of like 90s hip-hop stations, though.
But they don't call themselves oldies.
No,
right?
They don't call themselves oldies, no.
But they would have in the 90s.
I wonder what the cutoff of oldies is. Is it like rock and roll?
But if you're listening to Biggie Smalls.
Mm-hmm. It's an oldie.
That's an oldie.
But like then what would the oldies become? Because by default, they are still older.
What did they, when we were kids, what did they call like Sinatra and that? Because I feel like that would have been like the same 40s to the 70s.
I don't think they labeled it as oldies yet. There just wasn't a station that was providing old jams.
Yeah, I don't know. I will give it another shot, though. I just think he gave me too many deep cuts.
Just fucking go on Spotify, look at the top 5 or whatever.
Yeah, and just roll from there.
Yeah, take it. It's a smooth.
I also
smooth
find out that
transition.
I know way more songs than I realize.
Just 'cause-
I just don't know the name and who sings them.
Yeah.
Like I was at Marty's bachelor party, and the last day we went to a club. It was like Rhea's friends and Marty's friend. It was like all of us at a club. And I would hear a song, and I'd be like, I know this one. I like this one. Who is it? And
Shazam.
I'd ask Noah. Noah was my Shazam. For people that know, Noah's the Chicks in the Office producer.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like, damn, dude, you don't know Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill?
That's crazy, kind of, that you don't.
But I know
Even
the
I know
song.
that.
I know the song. I didn't know that was it.
Yeah.
But that's been played so much because it was the Eagles'
Yeah.
Super Bowl song.
I get it. I'm not saying I'm right or
What
wrong.
else was it?
I'm just saying I know the song.
I was just saying that transcends, even if you weren't a rap fan, you just saw like Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah, I don't know.
For that like 1 month stint.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it got by me. But
It happens.
they played I would naturally would have walked in there and be like, I'm not gonna like any of the music. I liked a good bit of it.
Eddie's like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished.
I just needed a
little
DJ.
nudge, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't use Dante anymore because he's going nuts. So
I see that.
with the KFC club.
Yeah.
I
Is that
did
what you
see
meant by going nuts?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't.
Could have been anything.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Dante.
What was the KFC club? Just give me a little taste. I love crazy Dante stories.
Apparently, there's a producer at the company. His name's Vinny. He does stuff on Out and About, and he does rap content or like music content, and
Like on his own on the side.
on his own personal channel, like he'll like break down stuff and whatever. And I guess so. I'm just repeating the story I heard on KFC radio. John and KFC said that at some point when he was going through all the backstage stuff, Dante, for people that don't know, Dante got the show canceled because he was posting too much copyrighted music. I guess he went to our lawyers and sent all the stuff that this kid was posting, Vinny, and he was like, well, why could he do this and I can't do that?
Oh, I haven't heard the full story. He went to the lawyers, and
Yeah. We went
so
to
the
legal.
lawyer. So had this Vinny guy gotten sued?
No, because he does it on his personal
Right,
channel.
that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
So he's like, I think,
So
and
you
I
could get DCMAs and can't like,
exactly,
locked,
yeah. But they're not looking at personal accounts, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't affect the
Yes,
company.
they don't
Right.
care about Joe Blow. Like we could post pretty much whatever we want on our personals. It's not smart because
Not
we can get-
really.
but
Like you can't post like if you try to post baseball or Olympic highlights, especially Olympics, you're dead.
yeah,
No matter who you
I
are.
mean,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, I'm saying we could use the free will and like
Sure.
you know what, we won't
Yeah.
be fired for that if
Yeah,
we did that on
you're willing to take the risk for your own account, but
Correct.
you can't take the risk for the
Yeah.
company.
for branded accounts. It's like a huge no go. Like they'll freeze the account and like you'll get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, there's like a handful of ways you get in a lot of trouble around here, and that's one of them.
That's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
So he sent all this kid's stuff to the lawyer, and it was and
Oh.
and like John said, he could be using it as like, hey, like why is this fine but this isn't fine?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you got to realize what we just said. If you know here, like if you've been here, you know that you could do stuff on personals, you can't do stuff on branded accounts.
No duh.
Yeah.
I was ready to defend him harder. I didn't know he like had a hard copy and sent it to the lawyer. If I know Dante, like I think I do, he's probably just like, well, how come he can do it and I can't? Like genuinely asking, not ratting so much.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I bet he was.
There's more whining than ratting.
Yes, that's what I bet he was doing too. For sure.
But very tough look
But-
to have like the files ready.
Yes, but you're inadvertently ratting, unfortunately.
Yes.
But like I get it. Like you were just bringing up a comparison to be like, hey, why is this fine and this is not?
Doesn't he know what we do to rats around here?
Yeah, so I don't know. That's that.
Yeah, our weekly Dante drama. Now on to White Sox Dave.
Question. Is using an iPad somewhat strange?
I've never had one.
No.
I've never had one in my life. I feel like it's become a kid's toy.
Okay.
I bought one a couple months ago because I was making doodles on it. Needed this app called Procreate. I was doing something for the Yak. We've talked before. You're either really old or a baby if you have an iPad. There's no in between.
Have we said this before?
Kind of different
I don't
question,
think
but
it wasn't.
okay.
But okay.
we were talking about doom scrolling, and then we talked about how parents just they shame us, but they still doom scroll on iPads.
Yeah. Like I have a friend who just will sit on the couch and just scroll an iPad, and it's like, why don't you just use your phone like an adult, right?
So you have bad vision.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think he just like.
But really, it could, in their defense, it's only weird because most people use their phone. But if you're going to be scrolling one way or another, your iPad has everything your phone has, bigger screen, probably easier to navigate.
But I got my both hands are tied up.
Why both?
Because it's an iPad. Like you're like sure you could palm it.
You're not scrolling through with your thumb.
Yeah, you're not doing a thumb.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On an iPad.
I mean, if you really wanted to, there's a way. You could just like prop it up against your thigh when you're laying down.
I guess, but still, it's just.
But what are you doing with that other hand if you're just like laying on the couch? You can put it down
Change
for a
the
second
channel?
you could put it down for a second.
I think it might just be like, I can't believe I bought this fucking thing. I have to find a way to use it.
I have one, and it used to be the only time I ever used it was I would bring it on a plane. And that was like my plane screen because it's a little bigger. Who doesn't like a bigger screen? But then I got to a point where I was like, it's so close. Like it's not that much of a big difference between that and a phone.
I feel
Especially now they have the little rests for your phone. You just put it right there. You can see it perfectly fine.
I feel like both very young kids and very old people, the general iPad users, typically use them because they're playing a game on there. Is he playing games?
No, he's not playing games.
So he's just going on Twitter on his iPad?
No, he's
Instagram.
legit just watching TikTok on his iPad.
He wants it on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all he does. But airplanes need to do a better job of letting you know the amenities of your plane.
I agree with that. I feel like you can look it up, right? I think you know.
Can you?
Yeah, like once you have your flight number and everything, like
you know your seating chart.
you know your seating chart. But I think if you really dig, you could be like, I'm on this plane, but you do have to dig, and then which I never do. But I feel like that information is out there. They know unless you have like a last minute switch, like your plane has to be switched out. They kind of know what planes are coming and going.
Why would you wish they would have given you a heads up about what amenity?
I just think obviously sometimes you don't know if there's a TV or not a TV. Whatever. I don't really care about that because I have shit downloaded on my phone ready to go regardless. But you said they have those stands. Not always. You know, that you don't really know what you're getting into.
And I also feel like it depends on what kind of flight you're on. Like if you're on an international flight, or you're going to LA, like you know you're gonna have most of the amenities.
You would hope there was. I went to Arizona and there was a plane without TVs. That's pretty long.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of long.
Yeah,
kind of long without a TV.
yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Fair.
What is that, 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5 from Chicago.
I think it might be more.
Is it?
It's more going out there. I think it's into the 40s.
Yeah, I think
going
you're
out
right.
there. Coming back, it's a little quicker.
Did you raw dog it?
No, I had stuff on my phone. I could never raw dog.
How did people travel before?
I don't know. They read a lot of reading.
I guess, but like I mean, those are keeping bookstores alive. Those airports still. I feel like that's the place I see the most books is in the airport terminal.
Yeah,
But
'cause I'll panic buy one if I like don't have headphones or something.
I used to do that with magazines too. And then every time I've been doing more reading lately since I got that sauna, I just sit in there and read. And I always bring a book on the plane and I read for about 2 pages and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I pull up some kind of show or podcast or something. But I don't know what it is. I can't do it on a plane.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you able to? I can't read in general now though. So
What do you mean?
I just can't read. Yeah,
I can't read.
I
yeah.
forgot how.
When did you ever read?
I mean, I'm capable of reading, but I just don't. I hate that I had to clarify that. But I'm capable of reading. I just can't.
Sit and focus?
Yeah, I can't sit and focus.
But I feel like you weren't exactly the type of student who'd be like, I'm going to crush this book.
No, but I did hit a phase where I did like reading books. Like I read both of those books behind me. They're of course face down now, but
It's
there's
the Artie Lang.
Artie Lang's book and Chris Farley's book. I read both of those.
Okay.
I read 11 Seconds, one of my favorite books of all time.
What's that about?
It's about Travis Roy, the Massachusetts hockey player
Told me about that, yeah.
who got checked 11
Paralyzed.
seconds into his hockey career and was paralyzed from the neck down. One of the best books I ever read. But granted that was for class, but still, I used to be able to read a little bit. There was like a quick stretch.
Post-college?
Yes,
Yeah.
where I would read stuff that I enjoyed. Like I would never the summer readings. Not a chance.
I've never had a phase where I
Oh.
enjoy reading.
Yeah,
You guys, for school, you had summer reading?
yeah.
We had to, for prep school, you had to do a minimum of 6 books. And when you would show up your first week, they wouldn't tell you which one you had a quiz on.
Whoa.
So you like had to.
So 5 were useless? Like you never covered them in the curriculum, or they just went
Correct.
different order?
No, it was like these are the 6 books you have to read. There will be a quiz on one of
Did
them.
anybody ever get tipped off?
Not that I recall.
No.
But it was definitely a thing. So you're just like, in the summers, you're like, fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I would have heard that and be like, oh, okay, now I'm definitely not reading because there's no point. Like, there's no way I'm reading 5 books, let alone 1.
I mean, they're not. It's not like War and Peace. Like they were not like the biggest books ever. But you had to read. And it was like, for your English class, it was like a significant portion of the grade.
A lot of times we just had one book,
Yeah.
and it was usually like the whole school,
Had to read it.
right? I
Yeah.
remember
Or grade at least.
yes, we had Night by Ellie Wiesel.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And I didn't read it.
I forgot it real quick.
Yes, I was concerned. And we sat down the first day, and the teacher said it's a take-home exam. I was like, thank you. Gave it right to my friend who read it. 49 out of 50.
You're always a schemer.
I'm not a schemer. I just got lucky on that. That wasn't. I didn't
But
even
like
have to scheme.
giving it to your friend to do.
Well, I didn't have
scheme.
to. I didn't have to scheme for that. That was just like, oh my god, I hit the lottery.
Yeah.
I had this history class and we had to read a lesson, a chapter every night, and we had a quiz on it every morning, and it was like an honors class, and it was 4 questions.
Oh, I had this guy.
Oh, so if you got one wrong, it was a 75%.
High stakes.
And it was not like, what is the definition of this? It was questions that would be hard even if you actually read it.
Do you ever do the thing where you'll be flipping through pages and you'll read like 20 pages, but you're actually reading the words, and then you get to like the end of a chapter, you're like, I have no idea what
That's what I'm trying to
That's
tell you.
why I
I
don't
can't read.
Yeah.
I can't. It happens
you're
to me every
physically
time.
looking at the words.
I will read the same sentence 8 times because I know that I'm not as locked in as I want to be.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, and that's like my airplane thing where I'm just like,
Yeah, see, I can't
Yeah.
do it.
Because if you're doing that, like a history, like I did the reading, I have no idea what it is.
Speaking of which, do you think White Sox Dave read Harvey's book yet?
No.
For people that don't know, go watch our 773 TV we did from Arizona. We sat down with a breathing coach, like a skill specialist.
A human performance coach.
Yeah, human performance coach, excuse me. And White Sox Dave was like, yeah, I'm reading this right when I get home. There's no
Why does he dig himself in those holes? You could just be like, yeah, I'm going to read this at some point, not right when I get home.
He did say that, though.
He's excitable. He's
He
excitable.
is excitable.
And it's like, I
Yeah.
actually want to do this.
Like, he is like, I would have loved to watch him as a kid open presents, because he probably legit was the most excited you've ever seen when he opened something, played with it for the day, and then
Broke it.
moved on.
Yeah.
How the fuck have we never seen a picture of Dave as a kid?
We have.
We have, yeah, remember?
It's like playing T-ball. Like
And he was
8
like,
or 9. He's
he was like
cute kid.
shockingly like
A really
adorable.
cute kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen this.
And it's
Can we
like
find
that.
Matt Lance?
There used to be like a tip.
I don't think
TikTok.
I've seen this.
You
Is
ever
he in
seen
catcher's
this?
gear though?
No,
He's
he's
like-
been in like T-ball uniform.
We like broke it down on like a mid show at Redline back in the day.
I think
We're like,
it was red line.
Yeah, we're like, dude, when did like
I just need like little Dave in overalls on the couch though. I don't
Like a
want him-
toddler day.
Yeah, I don't want him like on the baseball.
He was
field.
probably like 8 or 9 in that.
no, but there's he was like,
Like he was a
smiley
kid, yeah.
He was like happy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like him like trying to throw dirt in some kid's Gatorade.
He
Like,
wasn't beaten down by life yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, where did things go wrong over that? And he actually was like, yeah, I don't know. I looked like I was happy there.
Yeah. That was the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. On or off the leash. We talked about it at length on the stretch on Monday. But I beat Chief in one-on-one. I also beat Dave in
I was joking about this being the on or off the leash.
well, Danny said, hey, let's do it. And to be honest with you, Danny's the only one who has a voice in this one.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's a
only
one-vote
unbiased
voice
opinion.
because it's pretty easy for me to say there will be no rematch. It's easy for you to say I want a rematch. Danny gets to decide if it's on or off the leash that I don't want the rematch because obviously you want the rematch. So is it on or off the leash by me that I won't give Chief a rematch in a one-on-one game?
I think the better move for you would have been to be like, okay, maybe in a couple weeks from now, and knowing that Chief would forget about it eventually. It's very hard.
I will not forget.
It's very harsh to right off the bat after Chief loses to be like, there will never ever be a rematch.
It's the Seinfeld I choose not to run.
Yes. But I still think it's on the leash for Eddie to want to savor his one shining moment.
I saw a tweet today, auto retweet. It was I can't
saw
believe
this
I
too.
can't believe a city kid is refusing a challenge from a guy from the suburbs.
I
It's
saw
like
that.
a St. Pat's kid. It's like how you're right. How pathetic.
I saw that, and that's the stuff that like might
Yeah.
fucking force me to record.
Because it's like the way that I'm wired is like I lose. Okay, let's say I was playing Titus. I would want to play Titus 1,000 times until I beat him, and then once I beat him, and he asked for another one, I would give him another one. But I have to get one. I have to at least beat somebody once. But I will lose 1,000 times to win once. And you like, I can't accept that you'll just like when this office first opened, Nicky Smokes and I were playing one-on-one a lot. He's better than me. He beat me like 95% of the time, and I'd be like, let's go again tomorrow. And like that's just how I just want to keep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys played hooks for.
Yeah,
long.
Danny and I played hooks and darts and like.
Yeah, like that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
You just like to be competitive. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what is off the leash?
What?
Eddie changing his profile picture for the first
That was
time
fucking
in a decade to his victory dance after he beat you.
Yeah. And the first one was like my brainchild. I'm like, you should, when we were up at Hallis, I'm like,
You're right.
you should go mimic the point. And that had been his profile picture for 6 years.
At least it's in 2019.
Yeah.
Or 2018.
I think it was
really,
20. That's
dude.
what I mean. I think it was 2018.
You're just constantly inspiring this guy's profile.
I know.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
You should probably change it.
We'll give you a.
It does look like the one part of it that I did like. It looks like you're almost giving Dave a piggyback ride, which is like a metaphor.
Oh, it's funny. Lance, you'll get a vote too. Is that on or off the leash? Should I not?
I think it's on the leash for you to not do it because I think
You guys.
in
suck.
any other context, you guys would never play a one-on-one, and then you guys kind of got an email and said, hey, you guys are playing one-on-one, and hey, shit, Eddie won. Yeah, shit, you had your shot, I guess. You're never going to play him any other time, you know?
You're right. Like
I would almost rather have Eddie be able to do like trial by combat and just pick people in the office, and then like this is Eddie's sponsor, and then I will play that person until I get a W, and then it counts.
I think the way this little cohort of ours works is that you will eventually be competing in another type of battle, and that will count as a win, not
All
a
right.
basketball game. It might be a cook-off.
Here's another example. White Sox Dave, who's wired more like I am, but when we did the Bilal thing, we had like a impromptu, like I kind of goaded him. I was like wrestling with him a little bit, and then he like took his hat off. His hair was everywhere, and he was like going for real. And that's where I like took him and flipped him and body slammed him. And Dave's quote, which is now it's got to be what, 2 years old, that video, something like that. He's like, "We will be on a mat someday again, and I will beat you." And like that, like, and he might, but I will have to accept that challenge, and I would accept that challenge.
Yeah. I guess the difference is too is sure will you feel better if you beat me? Because
Yes.
there were stakes there. Like you went on, that was for $1,000.
I didn't even know.
Like that was a real.
I
That
forgot-
was a sanctioned event.
I forgot about the money component. I don't even know if I ever knew there was a money component.
Yeah, there was $2,000. Rowan put up a G, and then Big Cat. Put
This
up
is
a G.
where Chief says, "Oh, if I would have known that."
No,
Never
I mean,
lost.
it's not like I wasn't trying. I was very much caught off guard. I said on the stretch yesterday, I've never seen Eddie move. He does not move. Okay?
You've never seen him try.
I've never seen him try. No, he walks at a pace. That's the pace. It doesn't matter if you're in the airport, the office. He has a pace that he walks at. He does not move.
I know. When
And so
I
when
saw you
he's-
hustling live in the game, like me and someone else looked at each other, like did a half jaw drop. Like, whoa, he's like really into this.
Yeah, that was stunning.
Oh yeah, I was going to give it a go. You also pushed all the right buttons, saying that if we played 1,000,000 times, you'd beat me 1,000,000 times. And I was like, all right, like it's a little much, you know?
Yeah, but I also like I was anticipating you like taking a dribble or two and then like heaving one. And I'm like, you.
And I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I did think about that.
So when you started doing like you walked me down to the block, and I was like I was not. So I would have like if I now I know. Like now I will like lean on you, but I was definitely caught off guard, and I had a brain freeze. I didn't know what to do.
It was like when Fairleigh Dickinson was just hucking threes against Purdue. You're like, oh shit.
It was like Rocky 2 where he shows up and he's fighting righty. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
But the craziest part is how off the hook White Sox Dave's getting, because he's the guy who takes even more pride in all this shit than you.
I'm starting to rethink if that's even true, if he takes more pride in this, because that clip has been on my timeline so many times. And I said, this is where Dave irks me, because we were talking about it briefly this morning in here. And I was like, how come I haven't seen any clips of you losing to Eddie? And he goes, oh, there's been clips. And I'm like, there hasn't. Like, it has not been on my timeline even once. And I'm sure they probably posted, but it's like it was posted again today. It's just like it's in our social clip. We didn't talk about you beating him on the stretch at all.
I know. I think it's because I literally just took the dagger and stuck it right in your heart within the first 10 seconds. Me and Dave played for a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you traded possessions?
Yeah, we traded possessions.
Oh, multiple times.
Which is honestly worse for him because I was dog tired by the time I scored.
Did you do the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally used the same move. If you watch the same, I think Lance tweeted it.
I did. Yeah. I even gave you a hashtag Barada Gang, Chief. I came to your defense.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Pull it up. You could see the same exact thing happen to Dave. That's a crazy part because Dave was a guy who, was it a year ago, where he was saying that he could stop anyone in the office?
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I'm going to just retweet this quickly.
Has Dave tried saying he wasn't even trying yet?
He hasn't. We haven't addressed it at all, which I thought was
getting off scot-free.
He's getting off scot-free for sure.
Dave deserves to get off scot-free this time.
Yeah, true. He gets a lot of the...
Let's focus on Chief. We don't want you to feel left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. On the leash.
I think
Everyone's with me.
There will come a time where you have to play basketball for content in our office that has a basketball court at some point again in the next couple of years, and that is when that. But I don't know if that is your have to. That is your I'll see you on the mat again moment.
But then it's does the bracket line up?
Probably not.
Yeah.
So, but
actually, probably will.
You think so?
If we do this event again, it is a story.
Yeah.
So now it's they have to. And
but then what? All right. So then
the other part of it that bothers me too.
What? I love this.
I've thought about this a lot.
I love it too. I don't know if you listen to the stretch. She was like, I got text from family.
Yeah.
My sister, who I barely know if she knows what my job is. Okay. She somehow it got she doesn't have Twitter. She has Facebook. Somehow it got on her radar.
It's in the newspapers.
Yeah, it's in the Daily Herald out the suburbs. And she was like, can't believe you lost. At least your ass crack wasn't out. And it's like, nah, it doesn't make it better.
And that's the thing too. I had shorts. I didn't even change. I didn't think I was going.
You had hooping shoes though.
I had hooping shoes, yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't take off my sweatshirt. I left my sweatpants on. I didn't think that I was going to play 2 possessions, let alone 3 games.
Okay, so that's the other thing that bothers me.
I played 3 games.
Who'd you eventually lose to?
Jack McCarthy, and I almost got him too.
Yeah.
You had a shot up against Jack?
I got 2 shots up. One of them was from the elbow, and it bounced up.
It is Fairleigh Dickinson.
It really was.
Yeah.
I was
St. Edwards. Who was it? St. Francis?
St. Peter's.
St.
Peter's.
Yeah.
I was legit a bounce away from having smokes in the finals.
That's
which would have
insane.
Been insane.
Fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
Should have been nuts.
But they had the rules were the lower seed gets the ball. But it was a caveat, you guys can work it out how you want. And then he's like, let's flip a coin. I'm like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, let's flip a coin. And he won the coin toss. So it's everything was legit.
Yeah.
That's
everything.
I wish it was well, you got the ball for every single part of it. It's one of those things flags fly forever. You can't take it away. There was no, and that's the part that drives me crazy.
What's the side from Paulie? What's the saying? Paulie from Goodfellas. You said it yesterday.
Oh, I said he doesn't move for anybody. He doesn't have a phone. He does you are kind of Paulie from Goodfellas. Yeah.
Yeah. I just
doesn't like public conversations. Always you're Paulie.
Yeah, it's just been a long time since I had to lace him up and get juices flowing. So that was it.
Queen of all Saiyans probably shaking in their boots
for
right
real. Now I really got to get the shoes and hang them up from the rafters.
What do your March basketball brackets and your home appliances and systems have in common? They tend to get busted. Now, as a benefit with select American Home Shield warranty plans, you can conveniently video chat with a live repair expert to help assess or fix an issue. Talk about taking home protection to the next level. And thanks to American Home Shield, we were able to video chat in White Sox Dave to get an expert assist as you pick your favorite teams for the 2025 tournament. Dave?
What's going on, Chief? Little fun fact for you. My bet bracket's busted. Your bracket's busted. We're all busted right now. But Greg Nigel of Columbus, Ohio, his bracket's probably not busted. He's got the Guinness Book of World Record. 49 straight NCAA tournament games he picked to start the 2019 tournament. I'm going to be telling him the rest of the tournament, and I recommend you do too, Chief. But back to you.
I wish I had known that before, and I wish I knew about American Home Shield before. This is an essential for any homeowner. I'm a homeowner. I had a situation last year. My washer, dryer, and my dishwasher, they both broke within the same week. It was a nightmare. Had I had American Home Shield, I would have been able to address it much more easily. American Home Shield warranty, they will help you fix or replace covered parts of home systems and appliances no matter their age. Plus, as a benefit with select plans, AHS offers a convenient video chat feature that lets you connect with a live repair expert to help assess or even fix a problem in real time. Listeners can get 20% off any plan today. Just visit ahs.com/dogwalk to sign up. Don't wait until something's busted. Get ahead of it. Get ahead of home repairs with AHS. Again, go to ahs.com/dogwalk for 20% off any plan today. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions.
I truly think your yips are finally once and for all gone after that. I think it was a big confidence thing, and that got your confidence within basketball up.
Yeah, but if you watch some of the jumpers I took against Dave, it's bad.
All right, then just drive. You're a low man.
But I'm just, the problem is I'm only 5'9". I'm not tall enough to drive. I shouldn't have done what happened, you know. So it's
it all worked
and
out.
I can't move. That's pretty important. So
It's you could move. You choose not to move. You choose not to move.
I love that. Like over the years, Chief has gotten Blackhawks GM Stan Bowman in for interviews. He's met Connor Bedard right after he's been drafted by the Blackhawks. His sister only texts him when
Yeah.
basketball.
that's it. Oh, it's funny, man. Yeah, it was one of those things too, where like you go out and like random shit like from the week. On the weekend you'll see like stories around, and it'll be like, "Yo, man, like good show, like fuck Bernstein or whatever." And then this one's like, "Hey, man, great fucking like ever before."
While Chief just getting booed.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I like move tables at a bar to be like, nah, I need to be more secluded. I can't be here.
Oh man, yeah. I talked to. I think I was talking to Sylvia about it from ESPN. About playing those guys.
Cool.
We should play them,
Play who?
like our squad versus
Oh,
Who would be on our, like the Barstool Chicago's?
Yeah,
Me, Dan, Dave.
like us four and
Oh, we
David.
get Lance.
Dave,
Us four and Lance. It's like the stretch.
Yeah, but I don't know who they got producer wise.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean regardless.
I would like to win, Ed.
But yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
you know,
We should do that.
Sylvie Waddle, Carm, Yurko, like that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
Would they do it, you think?
yeah. He's the one who brought it up to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be like
fun.
a fun charity
That'd be
thing
a
or
blast.
something.
Yeah.
That's the age difference, though.
There's an age difference.
They need a couple of young guys to balance them out, or else they're
we'll
going
play half court.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely
I'm
half
just
court.
trying to make sure that they don't have any excuses.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. They do have some young guys behind the glass, so
For sure.
they'll be fine.
They're
Lance will
definitely
take care of 'em.
more fit than us. So
Yes, they are.
present company excluded with Lance.
Yeah.
I'm right here, dude.
Question: what are the mandatory holidays to be at with your family?
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter.
Okay, Danny.
Universally, yeah. I would say, some families might have an annual big, like St. Patrick's Day party or something, but Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, yeah. Why? What's the loop?
Am I wrong with thinking like Easter should be a little optional?
I mean,
I guess it depends on your religion.
hand in your
I'm just saying.
Catholic shit.
I'm just saying. Like
No, I
Thanksgiving
think-
and Christmas are obviously first ballot.
Eddie only wants to see his family twice a year.
No. I see them more than
What do you
that.
want to do?
This ain't about seeing
What are
family.
you doing on Easter
But
otherwise?
I'm just saying, if you have stuff to do, or if there's something going on where it's like, that's Easter weekend.
Why do you put it below the other.
It's
mandatory
420
holidays.
this year, so Eddie's trying to get out of it, so he get high as
shit.
fuck by
I was
himself.
gonna go visit my
Is it
family on
actually
Easter, then
420?
I got
Yeah.
high.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just
It's
gonna-
happened before.
Yeah,
Has it?
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to be like Easter bunnies on the side of the road, just puffing Chiba.
yeah.
Um,
Our Lord and Savior, Puff and Chiba.
Why you? Why-
Nothing, because like I think everyone has been there, and like I'm in the midst of trying to plan something
I mean, go ahead.
with some friends, and it's like it's Easter weekend, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just want to know. I just want to talk about Easter and how like it's really like it's just like a brunch. Like there's like a
It's like the least commitment thing ever.
it is
Especially for you. They're
but
like
that's
down
what I
the
point.
street.
I know, but it feels like it's just kind of like a tack on.
Sometimes you might watch the kids look for eggs, get their baskets.
Yeah.
I'll say
Steal their candy.
That's a fair counter.
I'd say regardless if you actually go to your parents to celebrate it, I don't think you definitely can't plan something that weekend with other people, assuming that like 4 or 5 of your friends are also not going to celebrate Easter with their family.
I think the only way you could do it is because Easter moves. So let's say you planned a vacation. It's like, I'm gone. Like you have to be like gone. And then it's like, or you're at the significant others or something.
Asking a group of friends to do something on Easter weekend is bold.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. I understand if you're like, hey, my dad, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make the party this year. I wouldn't do it. But to assume that everyone else is also not going to their family for Easter is...
I don't know, man.
This guy hates.
No, I guess I just disagree.
Oh, and it's like, I don't know. I do think that this is,
And especially like if you get back for it, if you're able to get back Sunday morning,
Fine.
Yeah, but
like are you okay?
That'd
think-
probably be fine.
but I think if you're
banged up
local,
heading into Easter,
if you're local, I think you go. Like I think Thanksgiving, Christmas are ones that people will travel for. I don't think people travel for Easter.
I think that kind of puts into my point. I think
I'm
it's-
helping you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it.
But my family, it takes me hour and a half to get home. Like I'm driving home. And I'm gonna have the NHL and the NBA playoffs.
I would
have some good food. And I'm gonna
For
turn
sure,
around and go back.
if I'm here, I'm obviously going.
Yeah.
Man, but I just think. I think Easter should be a little more optional than we lead to.
All right, call your mom, see what she said.
But I think things.
Call your mom right now.
I think things in general should be a little
Call your mom and tell her you
a
think
little-
Easter is optional.
more optional.
Call her up.
He's right. It is optional if you aren't local. Like no one is traveling for Easter. But if you live like within a half hour of the Easter family party, it's not really optional.
So really, how
Do you
this
think it used to be more like locked in when the country was like more religious? Like our parents, like call it 50 years, 30 years before, whatever, however old they are. Do you think that they were like, oh, it's Easter, I'm auto going home, and that's kind of dissipated?
The thing is,
That
Easter.
makes sense. What I'm saying?
yeah, because
It was like people were more serious about religion.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would say maybe.
Yeah.
The thing is, Easter's not like a day long holiday. All that's baked in is maybe church
Exactly.
and then brunch. Like there's no Easter dinner or anything.
You watch it. I try to get there for the baskets, and then
If your Easter is still going when the sun goes down,
No,
you're in
no.
the minority.
no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like there will always be baskets, brunch, church, all that stuff is like done before 1 o'clock. I will usually stay to the end of whatever game I'm watching with my dad, and that, which would probably start at noon or 2 or whatever. So you're out of there by 4, you're home by 7. Like you're home by 6.
Because essentially what I'm trying to do. So
You're trying to neglect your
no.
family.
We were talking with our friends. We were trying to plan like a little golf weekend, and we were going to go down to Carbondale where we went to college because it's like 10 degrees warmer down there.
Mm-hmm.
And April obviously is not the best here, so it's like perfect to go down there in April. It's kind of the only weekend a lot of us have open, and it's like that's Easter. So it's like, well, I don't know. We're 30. We're in our 30s now. Like we could be adults and leave early. Granted, it's a 5-hour drive, so you need to leave pretty damn early. But it's still like, is that enough to... You could still make it back is my point, too, here. Like, in this specific scenario.
Yeah, I think if you're local, Easter's set in stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And
But if
you're local.
If you're travel, it's not.
But like that's an optional travel. Like maybe like there will be another weekend for a golf trip.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one Easter.
Yeah,
He only rises one day, dude.
Yeah, it's just
After all he's done for you.
if I was like, I think the Greeks do Easter pretty big. I think that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
If I was a
the
Greek,
Orthodoxes.
I think I'm on a different. I think I'm on a different of opinion right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
they also do it a different day.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Ukrainians.
But they go hard, dude.
Yeah.
They're big into Easter.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Ukrainian Village, I would just be walking the dog on Easter Sunday, which I think is usually later in the calendar, and it would be like a scene because all those churches in that neighborhood are all like Ukrainian Orthodox. So like everybody, those girls get dressed to the nines for Easter too.
For Greek Easter?
For Ukrainian
Easter?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. And then they had like the big parties. Like you can kind of hear the parties going all day. So
if it was something like that where...
But I think you also don't want it to be something like that.
I guess. I mean, if everyone bought in and it was more of a big thing, sure. But I just feel like
you're the guy for
bought
that.
in.
Though. You got to start hosting Easter. The garage is done.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like something people just do because it's tradition. It's not like.
But if you want to make it a big thing, you're the president of the frat.
But people aren't looking forward to it. People look forward to Thanksgiving. People look forward to
Why do they look? Some people. Why do you look forward to Thanksgiving?
Some people. I don't know. You made a new dish.
It's the same dishes. I think it's the football component, and there's no pressure. Easter could.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Easter needs more. Easter needs more. If it wants to be taken seriously, if it wants to be mandatory, it needs more.
I think this show could make it more. The way that we're talking about it, it's like, hey, come on over. We're gonna have a great meal. We're gonna have the afternoon games. You steal all the candy from the kids. Like that's always a little like, hey, I'll trade you. I always try to snipe a few pieces of candy. I'm like, oh, you're not going to give your favorite uncle something like those juices eggs, and then you're watching the games as if it were the random NFL games that like I don't care about the Dallas game most years. I don't care, it's just games that are on. So if it's NHL and NBA playoffs, games that are on,
Christmas has music. There's so much that there's so many things that I could name in the list of Christmas and Thanksgiving that
people get born all the time. Only one guy's ever come back from the dead, dude.
Yeah, true. Well, why is his birthday bigger than coming back from the dead?
I think that the real Catholics would say that it's not. It's the holiest day of the year. Is what they say. I think we just need a little something in the dead of winter to spread some joy.
And it's hard to get up after Good Friday.
You don't like pastels?
It's hard to get up after Good Friday.
Good Friday. Oh, no, I was thinking Palm Sunday. That was always, when I was a kid, that was always my favorite one because church is boring, objectively, but they would give you those palms and you could just make little, like it was like arts and crafts in mass.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm smelling this lamb right now.
I smell it too.
Smell that?
Yep. Very. No, do they do the lamb?
Donnie's roasting the lamb. People don't know.
Easter's in the air. Yeah. Greek Easter's in the air with the lamb roast.
All right, then. We'll wrap this up. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. That's it for today. We will be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.